Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while, but today I'm going to teach you guys to VFR navigate. And it is now wintertime in Texas, so there's not going to be many flights this month because I have to go home for the holidays. I do have at least 3 flights backlogged, so I'm going to be voiceovering most of those just to show you a little bit more about the pilot life. I know half of you guys are very experienced pilots that watch my channel, and half of you guys are non-pilots that just enjoy aviation in general. So I'm going to try and explain some of the simple things that we talk about in my videos for the future. I know a lot of you guys are curious on a lot of the things we say, and the non-pilots can get kind of confused on a lot of the terminology we use, a lot of the things we're doing in the plane. So I just want to make this short video. By all means, I am a private pilot. Do not take this as a ground lesson for any one of you guys. This is just a resource to help student pilots out there or just anyone curious. Again, I'm a private pilot. I don't know everything. I'm going to be explaining everything as much as I can into simple terminology. I'm not going to overload you guys with pilot talk and stuff. We're just going to go over the basics, and I'm going to explain to you in the most basic way I possibly can. So I'm super excited for this video. We are flying to Port Aransas in a Piper Arrow. This plane is complex. I already got my complex endorsement. So this is just me practicing and getting used to this sort of plane. This is about an hour flight, I want to say, so it wasn't too long. Me and my friend Brian fly a lot of places, and Port Aransas is one of our favorites, as you've seen on my channel. I hope you guys really enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the video. Dude, this is sick. Nice low wing, 4-seater.
Remember how it flies. I remember.
Can we get that phone, Austin? Alright guys, so as you can see here, I'm asking to get flight following to see if my pilot's comfortable with it. Flight following is basically an optional thing in the sky that pilots can ask ATC controllers for, and it gives us our collision avoidance, and it basically is just someone watching our tracks in the sky to make sure we're not going to hit any planes nearby. And it's just an added measure of insurance. And I get my frequencies through ForeFlight, and you can just pick any really nearby airport that has approach or departure. And so that's what we're doing since it's a kind of long flight and we're going near a bunch of MOAs. So the initial call to get into Austin approach is pretty easy. So after takeoff, we are just going to want to get out of the Class D airspace or wait till your controller says frequency change approved. Once your frequency change is approved, you're going to want to find Austin approach frequency on ForeFlight. After that, you're going to want to make a call, which is pretty easy. It's you're basically describing exactly who you are, who you're talking to, where you are at that point, and where you're going. So a call to Austin Approach, the initial one, would be pretty easy. You would just say Austin Approach is who you're talking to or who you want to talk to, and then you say Piper Arrow, because we're a Piper Arrow, or just Arrow, and then tail number, which is 145 Tango, and then you give them a position report, which is super easy. You can just look at your ForeFlight as you're flying and say 5 miles east of KHYI, which is our airport, 3,000, which is the altitude we're currently at, and then say your altitude you're climbing to, which is 5,000 feet. And then the last thing is just request where you're going or where you want to go. So requesting VFR, flight following, to K Romeo Alpha Sierra. And it's just easier to use phonetic alphabet in these cases. After that, the controller said radar contact, which basically means he can see where we are, and he is just making sure that this is the plane, and he'll give us a position report of where he thinks we are. And then at the end of that, he'll give us our altimeter setting. And that altimeter setting will plug into our 2 instruments. Sometimes we have digital and standby instruments, so we'll plug it into both, and that just gives us how high we are from the ground according to whatever pressure altitude is happening right now. And then all we have to say back is the altitude, and then just our tail number, just so the air traffic control gives us That's a two-way communication with air traffic control. Super easy. And that's pretty much what we do all the way there, is just checking in with whatever controller we go to, and then them giving altitude and us plugging it in and confirming that altitude and confirming that they know where we are.
So 45 Tango radar contact 6 to the east, San Marcos, altimeter is 2986.
4 Tango,
Before Tango on the boat, I'm doing altimeter 2986.
2986, please have 4 Tango.
Hey, proceed on quick port it.
We'll proceed on course to Port 7 Tango.
So as we keep going and getting closer to Port Aransas, the tower controllers are going to switch us off to different tower controllers because we're getting farther away from where that tower can see our plane because of their radar. So Austin approach will switch us off to Corpus Christi or Houston approach because we're going in that direction. And what the tower controller will do is just call up Houston or call up whatever tower they want us to get handed off. And once they approve it, they'll call the pilots up, so us, and they'll say something like 145 Tango, switch over to Houston approach 134.15. And we can switch over, and we literally just say our tail number. I'll say 1345 Tango. We are 3,400 feet. And that's all we have to say. And they'll say, all right, Houston altimeter 2934. And that's just a way to make sure that we know where we are, we know the altitude, and we know the altimeter setting that we need. And it's just a two-way communication street of making sure that we are both in communication trying to get there.
Gotcha. I forgot this plane plus 5.
Cover 4 Tango contact, Tango Road, 120.9.
120.9. I will speak of it. Shoot Center 81, 37547. We'll get to there now.
Thank you. 2.25, altimeter 2984. Density altitude 1700. Occasional stop at on the field.
So Port Aransas on the way over there has a lot of MOAs, which is military operating areas. And as we're planning our flight, we can see that we're going to head under the shelves of a lot of them. Now, when you look at your fourth flight, you can see where the MOAs start and ends, and it gives you it for each one. So we're obviously going to be well under each MOA. But even so, it still can be dangerous. There's a lot of military operating in that area. They can be firing missiles or, flying just at super high altitudes or super fast speeds that we can't detect. So we get flight following just so we can avoid those areas. And it was a good idea for this trip because they did vector us quite a lot under the shelves of each one, just so we can get out of the way of those aircraft. But yeah, the MOAs are pretty much everywhere, so we just flew right under each one to get away from them. So our fourth flight is sort of like Google Maps, but in the sky. It's a little more complicated than Google Maps because obviously we don't have roads to abide by. So a lot of the times we are flying straight pathways. In order to actually get this flight logged and so you can track it, you just put in the two different airports in your flight aware, which is pretty easy, and it gives you a direct pathway towards it. And even when you're in the sky, you can do a direct to in case you do a 360 or don't stick to your exact pattern and just want a straightaway there. You can go ahead and easily put it through to create a straight line. And all we do during the cruise portion is fly the straight line until we get about 10, 50 miles away from the airport. And that's when we start setting up our landing procedures. But pretty much the whole time while we're in cruise, we're just following this line, making sure we're staying on it and making sure that we're staying at the same altitude the whole time. So that's why we're constantly looking up and down and at our instruments and at our iPad. So it's kind of like just driving and looking at your GPS most of the time, but it's added steps because the roads aren't always straight, honestly. So now we get the ATIS, which is a frequency we can find on ForeFlight, and it's just going to tell us the basic weather so that we can get prepared for our landing and see what the wind is doing, and see what the temperature, dew point, the visibility, and altimeter are. So now that we're at Port Aransas, I always call about 10 miles out. And since Port Aransas is uncontrolled and doesn't have any ATC controllers, we self-report, which basically is again really simple. We just say our tail number, what type of plane we are, and our positions or our altitude and how far away we are according to the airport. And then as we get closer, so we did our 10 mile, and we do a 5 mile, and then we do each like leg of where we are at the airport. So as we get closer to the airport, we really want to make those calls and just make sure the pilots around us know that we are about to land and exactly where we are, because it can be really hard to spot aircraft in the sky. So those legs are called base downwind. So you're going to first call your downwinds when you're parallel to the runway. When you're perpendicular to the runway, that's called a base call. And then when you're on the final about to land, it's called final, and it's just your tail number, and you say either final, and then at the end of each transmission, you want to say your tail number and what airport. So a call would be like your base call would be uh, arrow 453 Tango. We are on the 45 for the left downwind. So you're also going to want to say direction of what airport you are at. So left downwind for runway 17, and then whatever airport, so Mustang Beach. So it's pretty simple, and then after you land, you're going to want to make some position reports of where you are according to the runway. So if you are taxiing off of it, you just say taxied off of runway 17, Cessna, or Arrow 453 Tango, Mustang Island, or Mustang Beach traffic. So it's pretty simple. I probably butchered how to do all that, but that's as simple as I can put it. We just really just position report whenever we're somewhere towards the airport, and we do it very frequently when we're close to each airport. So just to let other people know. Landed, and it looks beautiful. Righty, we're driving on this beach. Beautiful townhouses. Oh, this is much needed. Much needed mini vacation. And Mustang Beach is cool. Alrighty. Just got eaten up by mosquitoes very, very hardly. And we're about to go dip in the water to cool off and get all these mosquito bites all off of us and washed at least. We're at the beach and I have my toes out. I'm about to go dip myself in the water. Dying of mosquito bites right now. But we are at the beach again. Very beautiful on this today. There's some jellyfish out, so I hope I don't get stung. And yeah, it looks like a lot of people are out today, and I'm very excited. We are in the water, got our toes dipped in. Mosquito bites are feeling a little better. And we're gonna go and get some dinner. And then maybe Galveston and then head out. This is so pretty. Made it to my friend's house, and she looks pretty cool. Got a golf cart, got some chairs, got a golf cart. I already said that, but still really cool. Really nice swing. I'm finally in a cold, nice pool, and it feels so, so good on my legs, especially the mosquito bites. And we made it to Port Aransas, Texas. The coastline took probably an hour. Restaurant we ended up at. Nice view. Alrighty. We're about to leave. Dude, this is nice. Oh my god. I feel like this is like the equivalent of a Tesla.
Yeah, it's a Cadillac. So when you get in, you got a handle right there. You just grab on and you just kind of step down off in there, and then you're ready to go.
Wow. What the hell? Jesus. This is very nice. Oh my god. It's like a Porsche. Oh my god, the side sticks too? This is crazy. I did not know Cirruses were this amped up.
What's that?
I did not know Cirruses were this nice.
Oh yeah, they're super nice.
And you have your emergency. What's your cruise on this?
About 170 or so.
Holy shit.
And it's got air conditioner, heat. I mean, it's really nice.
This is like the nicest cockpit I've ever been in.
Yeah, they're
Alright guys, something really quick I want to go over is VFR cruising altitudes. These are really important because you can't just be at any altitude when you fly. When you're over 3,000 feet and you're going east, so a heading of 0 to 179, you're going to want to choose an altitude odd thousands plus 500 feet. So anything above 3,000 would be 5,500 would be in east direction. In the west direction, it's the opposite, where you fly an even number plus 500. There are exceptions because of congested areas and non-congested. So over congested areas, you're going to want to be 1,000 feet above the highest obstacle and 2,000 feet away from the highest obstacle. And in non-congested, you're going to want to be 500 feet above the surface so that you can't hit anything and obviously don't damage anything while you're flying. But since this flight is back into San Marcos and we're going west, we chose the altitude of 6,500 feet. That way it's just under the MOAs we have to go under, and it's just over the clouds because this was pretty cloudy day. So it's pretty easy once you get a hang of it, but it's really simple to forget, especially the 3,000 rule, because a lot of people think it's just even or odd. So even if you're below 3,000, it's kind of free range.
Corporate temperature. Corpus approach. Corpus approach. Gotcha. I have that in. Once we leave this airspace, we'll start making the calls. I think 11 o'clock, 2 miles, 300 feet below. To be over here. Pretty thick. I got traffic in sight. Cool. Oh, either that or we can, is that who they showing to call up? Yeah. Something like that. We're about, let me just get that one to drop it.
I said what
We're like north
or latitude.
So they should be getting us. Are we on course? Turn left.
Cherokee 54 Tango's radar contact 5 North Mustang Beach Airport. Maintain VFR on course. Corpus Christi altimeter 2974.
So now that I've given you the rundown, I'm going to explain how me and Brian fly. So me and Brian are both private pilots. So we're both sort of logging this time. Me and him are switching off. So as one person flies, somebody else handles the maps, comms, and collision avoidance. So we're looking at our maps, making sure there's no planes around us, making sure the air traffic controllers know where we are, and we're listening to them actively. And the other person will be flying. We switch off on the takeoffs and landings a lot. And we pretty much just make sure we're okay. The person that's flying, we make sure they're on course, and we tell them to turn left or right, or if there's a decision that needs to be done, like a 360 for collision avoidance, we will let them know. So in ways, we're both PIC because we switch off quite a lot.
Are we a Cherokee? Hyper Arrow? Okay. It's a Cherokee, but it's landing gears makes it an Arrow. Okay. Because if you keep calling this Cherokee, I'm getting confused. It's a Cherokee also. Yeah.
Stingray 15, Roger.
It's a Cherokee airframe. Yeah.
Engine 2 after the and you want the full procedure?
So nice, I'm playing. I got another thing on my belt.
Stingray 15, fly maintain 4,000.
On a little right. Go a little left. Go a little left. This is north facing, so either way, we're going west. Thank you for also letting me know. Oh yeah, no problem. Anytime. It's a very important part of my journey. and it makes money. I think you need more. I like it. I sit in my hot tub pool and watch your videos. Really? That's why I felt like I knew you. Like you don't really know me, but I know you from watching your videos and shit.
Alright guys, so now that we're getting closer to landing into San Marcos, we have to do a few things. I'm not going to go over every single thing we have to do, but obviously we have to get weather, which is the ATIS, and we can find that in our flight. And then it will give us just basic information about the weather so that we know how to land. And then we're going to want to get off of flight following. So Austin Approach is on with us, watching our plane, making sure we're not going to hit anything. And all we say is that we see the airport is in sight, and that we would like to cancel our flight following. And they normally say, okay, that's fine. Cancel your flight following. Squawk VFR, which is just our transponder, and it allows everyone around us to know what type of visual flight rules we're flying or flight rules we're following. And then we contact San Marcos Tower, since nobody's controlling us and San Marcos is controlled. And all I would say is something as simple as San Marcos Tower, Arrow 457 Tango. We're 10 miles to the north, and we're 3,000, and we're looking for a full stop landing. And that's really all I say. And I also let them know that I have information Bravo or whatever information that the weather got me. So it's mainly 5 things: your tail number, your position report, who you're talking to, the weather, and then what you're trying to do. So in this case, we went full stop because we're not trying to go anywhere else. It's pretty simple, and then they will respond with directions on how we should land. So they'll say left downwind, right downwind, and that's again the visual, and we just go according to it. So if they say left downwind, we just go a little bit to the right of the airport. That way we can do a left downwind into the runway.
5-4 Tango, no, I'm not seeing your transponder at all. Nor my radar's not even picking up the primary only target on either.
That's so weird. Yeah.
5-4 Tango, Roger. Yeah, you know what? I'm being told that my radar is Victoria is out of service, so that's the closest one to you. That would make it why I don't have a primary target on you.
For 3754 Tango, San Marcos Tower, report 4 miles straight in runway 31.
We put it 4 miles straight in, runway 31. That's 31 right there, right? Yeah. One right there.
San Marcos Tower, 7 Charlie Tango, 6 left up with wait 13, that's touch.
7 Charlie Tango, runway 31, clear touch shift.
Yeah, we've already touched off. Oh, good, you're perfect right now. You're touching it off. Oh, yeah, we got it.
So the last thing ATC is going to give us is taxi instructions, and they'll pretty much just say the direction they want us to go into. So Alpha Charlie Foxtrot into Berry, and we just tell them repeat that back, and then before we just tell them where we want to go. So it's pretty simple.
Oh, yeah. Sweet landing. Huh? That's a sweet landing. That was loaded. I kept power in. Power, come on.
Good, 4 Tango, where do you park at?
Of the area, Barry.
5-4 Tango, turn left at the end and cross runway 8 at Alpha, parking with me.
All right, we'll go to end left and cross 8 Alpha to you. 3754. It is a little thing. All right, all the way to the end and cross 8 Alpha with him. Okay, gotcha. All right, do you know where to go? Do you need... That's what I did coming in. Cool. Tricks, I know. My weakest point is
Updated hotel current altimeter 2977.
Alrighty.
Alright guys, that is the end of today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the style of video. A lot of the times audio gets corrupted in these videos, and there's not much I can do about it. I have to focus on the plane when I'm recording these, so I can't really check the audio a lot, but I just liked explaining things to you guys. Aviation's obviously my passion, and instructors will go really into detail about everything you need to do, which is their job, but for me, aviation, I really like just explaining it as simple as I can so that other people not in the aviation world can understand what I'm saying, what I'm doing, and it was really fun thinking for flight up to try and teach you guys. Obviously it's winter in Texas. It's been rainy the last week. I can't do much. I'm about to leave for 2 weeks. So I really like diving into these topics, putting my own spin on it, and trying to teach, like, leave some things out during the pre-flight, because all planes fly differently. This plane, I didn't go over so much of the instruments because this plane has different instruments than any other plane you'll fly. So plugging things into the altimeter, doing the trim wheel, making sure the landing gear's down, are all things that aren't so universal. So this is one of those videos where I wanted it to be super universal to everybody. If you're a non-pilot that really wants to understand some of these things and don't want to sit down for a boring lecture or spend $200 on, you know, whatever they want you to spend money on a ground lesson or do any of that, you can watch me try and explain it to you through this video. But yeah, I have a Patreon, PayPal, and Venmo. I am getting some more flying done and I feel more professional, but as you guys know, I'm getting to a point in my training where I cannot do much filming because it is a little dangerous, and I'd rather focus on the plane than get a video out, which sounds counterintuitive, but I gotta be safe, and I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.